Today is America Recycles Day, recognizing the importance and impact of recycling. Jade Steffens sat down and talked to an expert about the national holiday.
Well, we are now joined by Jeremy Walters, and he is here to talk to us about America Recycles Day. Jeremy, welcome. Thanks so much for talking to us today. Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm Jeremy. I'm the Sustainability Ambassador for Republic Services. We're here today at the Southern Nevada Recycling Center. It is the largest residential recycling center in North America, and we're excited to talk about America Recycles Day. So America Recycles Day started back in the 1990s, and it was all about generating awareness on recycling, educating people about recycling best practices and why it's so important.
Talking about plastic recycling specifically, what are some things to keep in mind about what people can recycle and what they can't recycle?
Yeah, so it's important to remember that when it comes to recycling plastics, not all plastics are created equally. And one of the biggest problems that we see are flexible plastics. So grocery bags, wrappers, if you frequently shop on Amazon, those flexible plastic pouches that your package comes in, you got to keep those out of the recycling bin. All they do is they gum up the machines here, cause contamination down the line. So when it comes to the good plastics that we're looking for, think hard plastics, rigid plastic bottles, jugs, and tubs, specifically labeled with a number 1, 2, or in some cases number 5. But this is what we're looking for in a system like this.
And I saw only about 30% of plastic bottles get recycled. Can you talk a little bit about that and why that might be?
Yeah, so again, plastic water bottles, milk jugs, these things are fantastic for recycling, but they still only have a recycling rate of about 30%. And that's not because of a system like this, it's because these things aren't making it into the curbside bin to begin with. So us as consumers at the curb, we've got some work to do. We have to make sure that these good, valuable recyclables go inside the recycling. Once something goes in the trash, it's not going to be sorted. We don't have the capabilities to sort through the trash. This 110,000 square foot facility is designed specifically for recycling.
For people who live in areas that don't have a recycling truck come by their building, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, so whether you're in a rural area or maybe there's not a recycling program near you, sometimes you can actually find convenience centers or drop-offs, or even maybe your employer has a recycling program. So take a look around, check with the local providers and see what options they have in terms of local drop-off. But it is so important that if you want to recycle, try to find the means to do so.
And then why is it so important to be proactive about recycling?
These are good, valuable resources. We're taking less strain on the environment if we can take these materials, reprocess them, recycle them into something new. Aluminum specifically. Aluminum takes 95% less energy to recycle than it does to make it from new materials. So we're significantly helping the environment, and these things, again, have value in the greater economy.
Definitely. And then one last question for you, Jeremy. How can people learn more about recycling?
They can check out republicservices.com/America Recycles Day.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for talking to us today, Jeremy. I certainly learned a lot about recycling, and we really appreciate you talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.